Hey guys, welcome back. So, we are talking, before I say anything else, spoilers for Mr. Universe and Fragments, the two newest episodes of Steven Universe Future. Because I will definitely be saying some spoiler stuff as we go on in the video. Um, so, we're going to start Mr. Universe. Of course, it was the first episode that we went on. And this episode, we got to see Steven, and before this episode, I wanted to do like a Greg appreciation video, because I did appreciation video for Steven Universe, and I did one for Power Rangers, and I wanted to do some like aspects that I appreciate in like that and some of the other, shows that I watch and love and appreciate. To reiterate that as much as I can, apparently. But I was going to go through and do a post because a lot of people like Greg. I've seen some appreciation posts for Greg. I mean, he did a decent job as Steven's dad, but obviously, as we see how Steven reacts in this episode, Steven doesn't quite feel that way about things. Learning that his dad has kept things from him the same way that things were kept from him, like his mom, and even in the videos that his mom left for him, she never told him the truth. The fact that Pearl knew this whole time that Rose was Pink Diamond, but just couldn't tell anybody, is a big, issue. But so we go through the episode. We go with, and I'm appreciating Greg a lot more throughout the episode. But it's also how Steven's reacting, and Steven, especially when you see at the end, completely disassociating himself from, kind of both of his parents at that point, because he's tried to distance himself as much as he could from being like his mom, but he's still a diamond, as we'll get to in Fragments. But we go through and he's distancing himself from his mom, and he's on this journey with his dad. Then he learns that his dad got their family name, Universe, from a song. His dad was moved so much by the song that he changed his name, but he just doesn't get why his dad would be, I guess, moved so much through the song. It's like, so Steven gets upset about that and wrecks the van. But then his dad comes up and he tells Steven he's proud, and Steven's freaking, why would you be proud of me? He would have always wanted to tell his dad off like that, but Steven wanted, the family life, to be a kid, to go to school, all that stuff, but he just never had the opportunity. And his dad said it was because it was a gym, but Steven thinks it was because, he's a universe, like his dad, and his dad just wanted to live in a van and, down by the river. I'm sorry. So that happened. Steven, at one point when they went into his dad's parents' house, he went through and he took a picture of his dad, little Gregory DeMeo. But by the end of the episode, he's backing himself off, dissociating himself from both of his parents, and deletes the photo. Shortly after taking it, just because of how things are going on between everything. And that melds decently into Fragments, where in Fragments we go through and Steven's dealing with all of this anger, and he's outbursting, and the gems are trying to get him to calm down because of what's been going on. And that's obviously not helping anything. Steven has been just kind of backing off and not wanting to talk about it at all. But that's not the thing. Is the gems just want him to talk about it. Just talk to us. Go to therapy, Steven. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him to talk, but you can't force somebody into that, especially with everything that he's been through and stuff that he's continuing to go through, and how he feels about the gems and their opinion of him. He doesn't want to belittle himself or belittle his opinion of himself to the gems, because he wants them to think so highly of him, especially after everything he's done. So he goes to the one person or gem he thinks he can go to just to talk to, and that's Jasper. So he goes to Jasper. Of course, Jasper, still doesn't care or want to be there. But Steven goes through. He talks to Jasper. The episodes are really short, so we miss a lot of things that happen because they just cut from here to here to here. So I kind of assume that Steven told Jasper a majority of what has been happening, at least recently, and what has led him there, because he says that's why he's come there. He feels like he needs to be alone, even though he's doing it wrong. If he wants to be alone, he should be alone and not with someone else. But Steven wants to be alone, but doesn't want to be alone with himself at this point. So we go through, we see Jasper agreeing to train Steven because she wants a rematch after Steven, fought decently during the first episode. So we're finally bringing back things from episode 1 where he meets up with Jasper and he does the first lesson in the training, and that he comes back for training later. That's basically this whole episode. It's going to be training. Steven turns into big old buff, kissing his muscles Steven as the episode goes on, moving rocks and whatnot. And then eventually we get to the end. Steven says, Jasper, we're done with rocks. Let's rematch. Like this whole time, he's like kept his pink glow. I guess it's just because he's like harnessing that power. A lot of people have been referring him to Pink Diamond Steven, or Diamond Steven, because his eyes have the diamond pupils in the middle, and he's big, buff, pink, big old, kind of like a stag hair going on with the bit at the front, a lot bigger. But he goes through, we do the fight with Jasper, and it's going about as much as we think, and we haven't got a lot of fights going on during Steven Universe Future. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of people to fight anymore, so we wouldn't have as many fight scenes. But we have Jasper, and I like kind of a sparring fight as it goes on, but Steven, he starts maniacally laughing, kind of like you would see Jasper doing if Jasper was doing as well as Steven was during that fight. And then Steven goes through, he's traps Jasper, says, yeah, I've been holding back. And he goes through and almost like Thanos bringing down a planet, forces down the big old shield with spikes that he had created, plows that straight into Jasper. Next thing we see the art that we've seen tossed around that people have been theorizing of Steven with his hand in his pocket. And some people I have seen have theorized that it was going to be Jasper's gem, either cracked or shattered, as we see in the episode. So, bravo for everybody that kind of foreseen what was going to happen. There's only so many fragments can mean a lot, but there's with Steven Universe, the Crooniverse, and their whole thing, like we kind of figured what was going to happen, or some people did along the way. I kind of led into the theory that it was probably going to be something similar to what we saw. So he runs into the bathroom and he grabs the tears from all of the diamonds that we had seen in episode 1 once again, where he went through and he unbubbled and brought back one of the corrupted quartz that he took to Little Homeschool for the introduction to the show. So he goes through, he pieces the back together, and he holds it underwater after he throws the whole vial of all 3 of the diamonds tears in there, and then he starts crying, wanting to bring Jasper back because of what he's done. It starts glowing. He lets go, realizes what's happening, and he actually brought back a shattered gem with the essence of all 3 diamonds, or all 4 diamonds, including himself. Jasper realizes what had happened when she comes back. You shattered me, and she goes through, gets out of the bathtub, goes through and bows, and swears her loyalty to her diamond, pink diamond, which is that's where they end it. Like that's it. Now we have in 5 days, the last 4 episodes of Steven Universe Future, the last 4 episodes of the show, the series in its entirety as we know it, is coming to a conclusion. And it's hard for a lot of people. It's hard right now, and the last few episodes have been pretty heartstring pulling. I'm not sure what the correct term for that, but like it's getting pretty deep, getting into us, pretty hardcore. Rebecca and the Crewniverse, you guys just know what you're doing, I guess. Well, I'll be covering the last 4 episodes next week, and we'll do a big old episode. And we're not going to be done talking about the show. Then I will do a couple more episodes or videos on some appreciation for the show, maybe episodes that I really appreciate, or something else. Plus I do other geeky content. It's kind of limited with not a whole lot of movies coming out during current circumstances. But if you like what you see here, like the video, comment your favorite crystal gem or your favorite gem in entirety or character from the show, and subscribe for more. Remember, some of us are just born geeky. Have a good one.